You can't always do everything you want to do and expect to be where you want to be. That's just not how life is. Hey everyone, welcome to Clear Discussion. I'm John, and today I want to go over something that stemmed from a conversation I had earlier in this week, and then again, kind of going back and forth with a couple people through YouTube and just having this interaction. And the premise of it was me and this guy were talking about having commitment, having something that you focus on, and it kind of drives your energy. For some people, if you're in college, maybe that's your studies. If you're in college and playing sports, maybe it's more whatever sport you're playing, be it football, baseball, soccer, volleyball, whatever. If you're a little older and you have your kind of career job set in place and you're really enjoying that, that's probably going to take it. If you have a job, but it's not the biggest thing in the world, but you have a family, maybe your family takes the energy. And I don't mean take in a negative way either. I just mean what is driving you and what kind of gives you that focus. And what we were talking about with this is if you don't have something that you're committed to, you kind of lose that focus, that commitment in a lot of ways. An example of this is if you have your schoolwork and your studies and you really focus on getting good grades and making sure that you stay, whether that's the top of the class or just you're staying in a good position for finishing school and getting a solid degree. And let's say you're about halfway through that, however that process is for you, whether that's 2 years, 3 years, whatever, and you're kind of losing focus and you're like, no, why am I even doing this? Do I even want to do this anymore? And it's not a bad thing, by the way, to have thoughts like that. Thinking about why you truly want to do something is very, very important. But once you've committed to something, follow through on it. Because say you're in that position, like I just described, and then your grades do start to falter. You drop a class and you're not looking to finishing your degree as soon as you wanted because now you're starting to fail in a few categories. Well, that pushes whatever plan you had for yourself back because now you've lost focus on the objective in front of you. I think we can get caught up in this, and I think we can kind of lose ourselves when there's something we're committed to, but it's a long-term thing. It struck me when we were having this conversation because he was saying basically exactly what I'm saying now, where you need to have something to commit to. You need to have something that you drive your energy towards, because otherwise you're just kind of falling apart. You don't really have anything you're driving your energy towards. And it made me think of a quote that I've known for I don't know how long. I've known it for a very long time, where it's if you don't stand for anything, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And it's kind of true. If you don't have a set principle or structure in your life, it's hard to have much of any structure because you need a solid foundation to go from. If you're in a place in your life where you're not sure what that is, what your values are, do take time to think about what you want your values to be and build on that. And if you're in a position where your job, your school, your sport, whatever it is just not appealing to you the way it used to, try to have some perseverance. And I know everybody's situation is different. And I'm sure there's going to be some people hearing this and they're going to be like, dude, I've tried and it's just not working. Fair enough, because maybe that's just not the right path. But I do think that we, as humans, have a tendency to quit on something sooner than we should. And I think this stems from a lot of current world problems, first world problems with our attention spans. We seek that instant gratification. Whether we know it or not, a lot of us do. And by seeking that instant gratification, when something takes a long time, is a long process, we lose a lot of focus on that. I'm guilty of this 100%. And it's hard to stay committed to something, especially when you don't see results from it. I've related this to the gym before, where people go to the gym consistently. They appear to be eating consistently and well, and they keep saying, man, I don't notice a difference. My weight hasn't changed. I don't think I look any better. And it's very disappointing. And I can totally understand that, because when you start something, you kind of have that excitement that stems from something new, something exciting. And so you're willing to give it a go. And then as time goes on, that new thing is no longer new. And so your excitement for it, that fresh energy from it, has kind of dwindled and gone away. That happens with everything in life. I mean, that's just the way we are as humans, it appears. So don't get disheartened if that's you right now, and something's popped up like that in your life and you're like, geez, this is crazy. Why am I was really loving, going to the gym or practicing, whatever it is for you. And then now it's, a week later, a month later, whatever amount of time later, and you don't have that same energy. You don't even have that excitement for it at all. I can relate, it's something that I think we all struggle with. And I think there's no cure per se. It's just really hone in on what you want to work for, and know while you're making this plan, setting it in place, that it's going to take more than you think. If you know that before you start, personally, this is how it is for me, then I'm usually more prone to be a bit more patient with it, and more I'm pursuing it harder, because I know there's going to be hiccups in the road. It's not going to be smooth sailing. And as long as I know that going into it, or at the very least I know that early on, I'm more prepared for when those situations happen. Something I can really relay, because it's something I deal with daily. So I'm married. I've been married for over a year now, and there's still things that I don't understand or get from my wife sometimes, but we always, almost always it seems, do a good job of talking things through and trying to see where the other person is coming from. I think we do a really good job of our communication. And it was tough to start off like that, because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, why didn't she just get what I'm trying to say? Like, it seems so obvious to me. And I'm sure she was the same way with some stuff I wasn't getting. I knew going into it, marriage, that it was going to be a long haul. I'm in it for life. So I'm going to really try to be aware of the roadblocks as they pop up. And I'm not going to try, at least, day to day try. Not going to get like super freaked out or worried about them. I'm just going to try to take them out one at a time. And we have to do that together, my wife and I. We have to work as a team to try to see what is causing issues and what is not. And it's different because it's two people, but that is essentially the same thing with most of your problems. If you know that you're going to be in it for the long run, prepare for a lot of issues, prepare for a lot of hiccups, but push for that goal. Like, I want to have a great long marriage. That's the goal. I want to be able to look back on it and say, wow, I can't believe we handled it so well. Yes, there were hiccups. Yes, there were issues here and there, but dang, I'm really proud of us. And that's how I want to be with everything I set my mind to task-wise. I don't want to go at it with the excitement to start off and have it dwindle away. I want to make sure I have a long-term plan in place, a strategy for completing the task, whatever that task is. Marriage is kind of a bit of a different task, because you don't really have an end point per se, unless you choose to, whether that is via divorce or one of your guys' deaths, unfortunately as it is. It's just a journey. So little different part of it there, but the same essence of sticking to it, even when it's difficult, even when it's hard. These things, whatever goals you set in life, require the freedom to make that decision, to set it as a goal, and then the discipline / order and structure to make a strategy to complete that task, or pursue it at the very least. You have to have both those things. You can't always do everything you want to do and expect to be where you want to be. That's just not how life is, which sucks, let's be real. We wish it was that way. You have to have some hard parts, and you have to have some easy parts. Don't allow your temptations of the day to be lazy in one way or in another way take over. Be consistent to that path. You have the freedom to choose that path, and you do have the freedom to quit it if you want. But that's where your order and structure is going to come into play. You need those things to keep yourself accountable. It's easy to have someone else with you if they want to keep you accountable as well. And if you can do that, that's great. But a lot of us are on our own with these things, and we have to execute as best we can. If that's something that helps you guys, awesome. Let me know what you guys think. Other than that, guys, if you like the video, you might also like this one I got over here.